the key drivers that we're seeing within the mobile industry really focus around the application and how applications are servicing end users on mobile networks. And so as more users are using their handsets to access social media applications, to get to enterprise connectivity solutions, these enterprise and application providers are looking for the best way to connect with mobile networks as well as their ecosystem partners. So if you imagine a scenario where you have a mashup type service, a number of communications applications that are being aggregated together. The idea that you can directly interconnect with one of your ecosystem partners in a way that allows you to save money, costs on your transit, improve service performance by decreasing latency and round trip times, and making a more scalable connection to allow you to scale that service going forward. That's one of the main drivers we're seeing for mobile applications coming into the carrier-neutral data center and taking advantage of the ecosystem that exists within the data center. We're seeing a number of interesting trends within the mobile network operator space now with data centers. We're seeing the uptake in mobile backhaul, the procurement of mobile backhaul in order to get to specific towers and lit buildings within metros, taking advantage of things like carrier Ethernet, for example. The other key trend is we are seeing mobile network operators using some of the existing IP platforms, things like internet exchanges, as an example. Ways to peel off traffic to large destinations, let's say for example a social media site where a number of users are going to. So that direct peering and interconnection is something that more and more is being taken advantage of in the mobile network operator space. Within the messaging space, it's very similar, as I mentioned before, to the application space. Obviously, when you peel back the data center and you look within the data center, you see a number of different components of the mobile ecosystem, the data supply chain, okay? And so for a mobile and a messaging provider to be able to service their customer, they're often sending APIs to a number of different applications. And by mashing those services up and being with their ecosystem partner, they're able to effectively deliver the end solution. So even things like traditional messaging services within the mobile industry, things like MMS and SMS, short code, voting systems through SMS, are booming. You know, the ITU has basically projected that there's going to be over 7 billion text messages sent in 2011. And so we're seeing tremendous growth from even the traditional messaging service providers as they're scaling out to meet the requirements or to ramp up to that 7 billion figure. Another emerging trend within the data center is around the OEM and handset manufacturers. As the OEMs are beginning to pair services and functionality for specific handsets, they find that there's a requirement to get to ecosystem partners as well. So similar to the application providers, third-party application providers, the OEMs find there's a significant advantage towards being able to directly interconnect with an ecosystem partner who's providing things like streaming media, audio, video, or even social networking sites. We have about a 13-year track history of bringing in the largest fundamental networks in the world. Our locations sit right on the terrestrial fiber paths within subsea cable systems backhaul. And effectively that creates a nice ecosystem where network providers can connect with one another and can connect with companies that are capable of getting IP and transit services out to the internet. And so we have a 13-year operating history of bringing in these ecosystems that look very attractive to new and emerging applications that want to connect to them.